What's going on? This is your man John Fortune, your host of the Frustrated Fan Sports Show, and today Washington goes into Arizona and beats the Cardinals 42-14. They follow up a 38-point win with a 42-point win, and for the first time the defense kind of wakes up. The thing about it is that I sat up there last week and said, I think we found our guy. I got a text from my friend Jeremiah in Seattle, and he tells me, y'all got y'all guy. And that right there let me know that without a shadow of a doubt, we have in fact found our franchise guy. And it's a different type of feeling. Like, do y'all understand this is now year one? You know, it's you know how they do like BCE, you know, all that type of stuff. This is like the ADE era, you know, after Dan Snyder, you know, like this is what we have been looking for. This is the ADE era, after Dan era, because this is year one of that. And we're seeing already how the dividends are paying off when you sit up here and have an awful owner. And what happens when that ownership changes, and then the ownership that does come in gets out the way. And this has been very impressive. And I'm going to tell y'all something. I told y'all from the onset, I didn't see them winning any more than maybe 5 or 6 games. We're already at 3 games. We're on a 3-game winning streak. And we have Cleveland coming in next. And the thing about Cleveland is that right now, they're another team that's reeling right now. And this win against Arizona is normally a win we wouldn't have, because we would find ways to lose a game we were supposed to win. We won this game flat out. The defense wasn't put in a bad position because the offense went down and scored each time they got the possession. Like, I think they only didn't score on 1 possession, but I mean, they were kicking field goals. Seibert seems to still understand what his job is. And Jaden Daniels, even though he threw his first pick, the fact that it was one where it was a pick that was an unlucky pick, but it was one of those that, again, he learned from what he did wrong the first time. Like, I don't think a lot of people understand. Like, remember, there were a ton of people just last year who thought Sam Howell was the guy. And I had to talk about how when Sam Howell would make a mistake, he would make the same mistake over and over and over again. And here you are with a guy who does not seem to make the same mistake twice. He legitimately will not make the same mistake again. And again, we saw that in the Giants game where I said, yeah, I see some growth. I see the direction of this offense. Then we see the breakout game against the Bengals. And here we are again in a situation where he takes down a team that probably in the past would have beaten us. So again, we're looking at a different team. We're looking at a very different team because the era is different. We're now in the ADE era. We're in the ADE era, after Dan era, and we're seeing the dividends from it. This was a very good win. It's even a win for the defense, because again, the defense needs to sit up there and praise Jaden as much as possible, because if Jaden and the offense doesn't go down there and score on almost every drive, understand I only saw Tressway one time. So again, if you think about it as a whole, right, you're looking at it from a standpoint where we see that due to the efficiency of the offense, that the defense, that teams have to adapt to the fact that they have to catch up on the scoreboard. And what happened is that the one thing Arizona was killing Washington at, which was the run game, had to be taken away because Washington's offense kept scoring. And those are the things that the situational awareness, like those type of things matter. It really, really matters. And we saw another fantastic game from Jaden Daniels. And I mean, it's like we can't get enough. We're seeing Terry finally targeted the way he needs to be targeted. I don't think he had, I think he might have had ended the game with maybe 60-something yards, but he got another touchdown. Everybody talked about how he's not a guy who gets touchdowns. Now we're seeing what it's like to have Terry have somebody who actually is efficient as a quarterback and can get him the ball like he needs to be getting the ball. So again, man, I mean, this was a fantastic win and a blowout, y'all. Like, do you understand that we're not used to seeing these type of numbers on the scoreboard? We're not used to seeing 38, 42, like in favor of Washington. We're not used to seeing those numbers. And now we're number one in the NFC East because the Eagles got throttled by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And that, in all honesty, may set us up for something big down the line. Like I said, again, earlier in my season prediction, I didn't have us winning. I saw 5 to 6 games, maybe 7 if we can really do a good job. I think I might go up one. I mean, I could see us possibly winning 8 games now, because when you look at the rest of our schedule, if the NFC East is in fact down, right? If we're talking about the NFC East actually really being down, we see Dallas has no running game. We see that the Philadelphia Eagles, we don't know what's really happening with them, but they are having problems right now. And the Giants are just not where you need the Giants to be. You're talking about there's a chance that we can take the NFC East and actually get into the playoffs, which a lot of people had predicted, but I mean, they were super fans. They were going to predict 10 wins anyway. But the fact that we're really seeing a difference, I mean, and not only that, the quarterback makes a difference. This is pretty much the same offensive line from last year, with the addition of Cornelius Lucas on the edge and Allegretti, but it's still virtually the exact. Oh, and Tyler Biotish. But I mean, again, you're still talking about we're seeing really solid, really strong offensive line play due to the quarterback getting the ball out of his hands, and not only that, not panicking. Like I said, we saw Jaden was like early in the season, like against Tampa Bay and against the Giants, he was leaving the pocket very early. He got himself dinged, understood that he needed to stay in the pocket a little bit longer to let plays develop, and it's been a complete difference maker. It has been very, very different because of that. And I mean, it's nothing else you can say. I mean, they are looking fantastic. I told you this was a game where Cliff Kingsbury had to prove a point, and he proved it. He showed Arizona that, yeah, my offense has changed. I do now have a quarterback that's actually listening to me and doing what I asked him to do. And on top of that, I've evolved as a coach. I was given an opportunity too early so I can learn the NFL, but now I learned what I'm supposed to do, and I feel that I'm doing the best job at it. So again, very, very good thing. Dan Quinn is doing an excellent job with managing the game. He's on it. Like, these are the things that we're not used to when we were dealing with Ron. You know, we weren't used to sitting up there and guys being held accountable, or if a guy was held accountable, it was done in the media, not to the player's face. You know, again, we saw the defense wake up a little bit today. I mean, but hopefully they keep this moving forward, because they really do need to show that they can still play in advance and still keep being successful. Like I said, our next game is Cleveland. That's a big game. That's a very big game. This will be the first time that Jaden Daniels will be facing a very solid secondary. But again, right now, Cleveland isn't playing that well. They're not playing that well. So even though Jaden will be facing a very strong, very solid secondary in the Cleveland Browns, we don't know what they're going to be. We really don't know. So again, like I said, fantastic win. I mean, this game has now put the NFL on alert with Washington. Washington has put the entire NFL on alert now. Like, everybody now has to watch them, because now this is not the team. This is not Ron's team. This is not Jay's team. This is not Dan's team. The ADE era is in full effect. The ADE era is in full effect. After Dan era, what we are seeing is a team that is now playing to its best potential, being as though who they have on the field. And the coaching, and I told y'all before, and I can't say it as much as I can, coaching matters. And I remember people used to get mad at me when I used to say this all the time. Y'all don't understand. Coaching really matters. Coaching matters. The reason we ain't getting the most out of these players is because of coaching. The reason these guys aren't developing is because of coaching. And now we see what the benefit of coaching does. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really does. But you also got to have guys who have enough talent to let that develop well also. So, again, like I said, the NFL is now on alert. So, understand, we are going to see teams play us a lot more difficult than we have in the past. Because now you're talking about everybody's now watching like, oh my God, Washington can mess around, come up in here, or we can go to Washington and end up in a situation where they end up putting up 40-something points on us, or close to 40 points on us. You're talking about in 2 straight games. Here we are, 2 straight games, 38 points and 42 points. That's big numbers. And you talking about, even I think the Tampa Bay game, what was that, 35-32? I can't remember the Tampa Bay game. I'll go back and remember. But again, we're putting up points, and we're going to be making it very difficult for teams as we keep marching along. Jaden Daniels is looking good. You talking about, again, 83% like completion percentage. I mean, we don't see these type of numbers from quarterbacks. I mean, we don't see these type of numbers. We don't see this type of production. We are seeing something that is absolutely amazing right now. And this has been a very good season so far. Like I said, we got the Cleveland Browns next. This, to me, I feel this is going to be a very significant test for Jaden Daniels, because this will be the most talented secondary he will see this entire season. I don't think that there's I don't think there's another secondary. When I'm thinking about maybe Atlanta might be the closest thing, but maybe New Orleans might be there. But again, you're talking about in a sense of all across the board, safeties and corners. this is going to be the most talented secondary Jaden Daniels will face. And this game will show if Jaden Daniels can, in fact, be this elite passer, this elite guy. Right now, he's looking incredible. He's breaking numbers. He's basically on a path to break the all-time quarterback completion percentage record. Like, that is crazy. That is crazy, y'all. So, man, big win. Defense woke up slightly again. The defense woke up because the offense put the pressure on Arizona and forced them to not have to run the ball no more. Man, big game. Jaden Daniels does it again, and the NFL is now on alert. Washington is not a team to sleep on no more. Washington is not the team to take lightly, and Washington could be the team that could take your team out and destroy your team's playoff chances. Tell me what y'all think. How do y'all feel about this win? How many of y'all are still feeling like we're on it? Said, where are you, Said? I didn't see you last week. Where are you, Said? Said more, where are you, man? I think you're where I think Said I'm gonna say this. I think you're worried because I think you feel that this is too good to be true. But to be honest, Said, we found our quarterback. We found our quarterback, bro. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Other than that, this has been your man John Fortune, and this has been the Frustrated Fan Sports Show.